Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back. We are going to continue with our live streaming sessions. Today we are going to work on our location app, and evidently this is an app that is quite good. It's an app that enables people to store various items and be able to recall where they stored these items. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe so that we can be able to continue well. One of the things that I believe is quite good when you're dealing with creation of apps is the fact that it's very easy for you to fully go into this process if you are prepared. And the way we started on this app, just like the other previous app that we've worked on, which is the AI tutor app, it is very easy if you fully set out a plan for the app that you're going to create. And we do that using a product road document where we get to prepare effectively, and after that preparation we create the screenshots using Google Stitch. We go to the road of building these apps. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and keep me accountable. I'm on the road to hit $500,000 from revenue that we're going to receive from the vibe coded apps that we work on. So if you want to fully get to see that, not hesitate to click on the video and please like it, subscribe on this channel so that you can get subsequent notifications when we do more live streams. We are going to continue to do these live streams until when we are going to hit the mark that we've set out. So you're working on the location-based app. Using React Native. And Expo, and for the payments we are using revenue cards. And for our backend we are using Firebase. So these are the elements that we're going to use for this particular app. Okay, let's continue. So we have different kinds of screens. This first screen, actually it's the first screen that you get to see when you log into the app. This is where you're going to see the accounts that are so far created and what particular items are in these. So basically the process is quite simple. For this app, we have set out items that someone can be able to record where they last placed an item, so that when they need it, they can effectively recall that and retrieve it. So it's a simple app that has a single functionality. The reason as to why I believe one of the most things that you're going to find easy when you're working on apps, you don't have to really have very many functions in your app. You make it simple. You single function to solve a single problem, and from there, if you get to validate that the users fully logged in and they love your app, it's very easy to build around that particular feature. And for this particular app, we only have one feature. This app helps people to store and be able to recall where they stored these items. We don't have very many features here, but definitely all the features that we have, all the elements that we have in this particular app are related to that single feature. So also be able to see these elements in a different kind of format. So when you go on this particular screen, this is the settings screen. We also have some other functionalities rather. So when you look at this, we can be able to switch to another language in this particular app, which is quite good. This gives users who don't have the capacity to speak English, users who speak other languages like German, Spanish, French, Portuguese, to switch to another language and be able to understand how to use your app effectively. Well, this is one of the features. I urge you, if you're building out different kinds of features, you should consider translating your app from English, because that is one of the main languages that people use when they're building out apps. But you should try as much as possible to have other languages, because there could be people who really need your app, need to use it on a daily basis. But so, given the fact that you want to attract an audience that is really going to effectively and loyally use your app, you need to have them get to use your app by adding a language of their preference, which makes the process quite easy and swift. So that is also the other feature that we have in the app. So the other feature that we have in the app is the fact that you can switch to the dark mode, and when you switch it to the dark mode, it's easy that you can be able to view these other screens in the dark mode, which is also and important. So I believe this app is proof that someone can be able to vibe code any app, but most importantly, I believe it's proof that you can get a single app with one feature and be able to create something beautiful around it, something that you can showcase to users who need this particular functionality, and for them to fully use your app and pay for it. So let's continue to work on several elements. Let's go back here. So this is the element that we are going to refine. Let's on. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe, so that you can become part of our community that is keeping me accountable on this amazing journey. So let's ensure that we fix this refinements. So let's continue. We are going to refine the screen and make refinement. One, push all the elements of this screen up, and for the back button on in the column that houses the text, path spare keys, remove it. So let's I have a sample image that I want to attach to this. So let's get this. Let's go here. So this one I want to copy it and I want to paste it here still. So I want to edit this. I want to crop out something. I'm just cropping out the arrow. Let me just attach it. Go back. Now, when it comes to the attached screenshot, I want you to ensure that like for the path card, particularly the path that we have where we have point, the first point, and also we have the end point which has the location icon. Ensure that the path appears like this. In other words, I want you to use augmented reality logic to ensure that you map out the path for this, which is going to indicate where the person is currently, where they are standing with the phone, and where that particular item could have been stored and where information was recorded. So that means for this particular screen, it's going to show a route. So it's going to be dynamic to show a different kind of route based on where the person is and where that item was recorded. It should be what we see in the card. So let's prompt. Now you're going to write this particular request into a detailed implementation plan. and you are going to ensure that that implementation plan uses structure, prompt structure that is in the master prompt markdown document that I've referenced. So I expect to see this set out from the task up to the last element, which is the tone, as that prompt structure is from the master prompt document. This is the master prompt. So we're going to reference other documents. These are very important documents that we use. The front-end skills, which is the skills for front-end from cloud. We are also going to use the skills, which includes the general elements that we are supposed to adhere to, and also the themes, which includes things like colors and the fonts that are supposed to be adhered to. Let's also add them here. Now for the implementation, I want you to look at the rules that are set out in these documents, and when it comes to the changes that we're going to do on this screen, ensure that the rules that are set out in the documents are highlighted very well in the implementation plan. So let's use the peak end document framework, the user experience framework. This framework is also very important. It enables us to fully understand how we are supposed to create a peak end experience for each who goes and uses any screen in our app, and that is laid out in the document. So I'm going to reference it to ensure that we can be able to add things like micro interactions and micro animations, but they should be aligned to our set of rules. Now when it comes to the peak end, we need to add micro interactions and micro animations on these particular screens on other elements, but most importantly, it needs to be added to the path that you are going to create with the augmented reality logic, and ensure users get to feel like if they are looking to proceed to find out where they stored this particular document, they can be able to see this path and interact with this particular screen with this animation, in the experience even more understandable and more better. So look into the document that I've shared, which is the peak end user framework, and understand all the elements that it has, and in relation to this particular feature that you're going to refine, and ensure that you include that in the implementation plan. So I believe the implementation plan is going to be quite so good to allow me to execute this. Provide it to me, and I'm going to review it, and we shall continue to make these changes on this screen.
Engine screaming louder than the voices. I trade my peace for a higher profit margin. Heavy head resting on a silk pillowcase. War scars looking like expensive designer labels. Still with it, managing the chaos like a corporate board meeting. The trauma is just a tax on the crown. Victory tastes like cold iron and vintage wine.
So let's continue.
Of a haunted man. Salute the survivor. The war is quiet, but the rent is high. Built a fortress out of broken glass.
I think let's create this plan using Cloud Opus. Well, it's going to give us a very good and solid way of orchestrating the plans. When it comes to the orchestration, mostly going to use when you are creating your apps, I believe Opus is a solid model that is quite good with that. But when it comes to understanding images and the references, then Gemini 3.1 is quite good. Every model is good, but it depends on which function or which task it's really going to execute. So I try to use them concurrently to ensure that I get the best experience for each and every task that I'm putting out. So that means for the looking into the code base and making the orchestration for the, I'm leveraging Cloud Opus 4.6, and then when it comes to executing this particular refinement, I'm going to stick to Gemini. So let's continue. And see how we can work on this. I'm going to call upon the people who have not yet subscribed to please on this particular channel. It's a channel where we have set out a challenge to hit $500,000 in revenue from Vibe coded apps. The way we are going to do it is by working on these apps. This very month we are going to launch our first app, which is the educational recently, but also we are working on this one, which is going to be our second app. It's a location, it's an item location based app that we're going to effectively execute. And the reason as why I do this is to ensure that each and everyone gets to access to see how they can go about the process of building both web apps and mobile apps, but most importantly, to ensure that I share what I know. I believe sharing what I know is one of the things that is going to benefit the community, and I want to share my full journey. So if you want to join my journey, if you want to be a part of this journey as someone who's going to keep me accountable, someone who's going to be there and get to see someone who's going to advise me on the journey, please do not hesitate to subscribe. But also subscribe because I believe throughout the process you're going to learn lots of things, vibe code apps, and how to use the best practices to do this in a much more better way. So let's proceed, given that we have a the implementation plan. Let's proceed. And work on this. Then we shall review how the change has been made. So it's simple. What we are trying to do, we are trying to refine actually one of the features that is attached to feature is for the app. It is to allow people to store several items wherever they could be, record where they have stored these items, and be able to recall what they stored and where they stored these particular items. The reason is that there are very many people who get to forget where they store different items at home, at work, in different areas where they go, in their cars. So given that people are forgetful, we are creating a reminder app, but the reminder of where they have placed their items, which truly makes sense. And I believe it's one of the things that me as a person I am struggling with. I get to forget certain things where I've stored them. So I figured if I forget these things and there are other people who are facing this very challenge, then we could be able to create an app that can solve this problem, but in a much more better way. The way we wanted to go about it, it is to create an app that is first of all going to enhance the experience of people as they use it, but also, most importantly, an app that is going to make them, they can get access to the items that they store and remember where they stored them whenever they would love to. So it is simple. It's a one feature app, and the reason that's why I feel like when you're building apps, settling down to a single feature is quite important. You wouldn't 7 features in an MVP app that you're building. Just make it simple. Include, if you've identified a problem, the framework would be, if you identify a problem that you want to solve, because you wouldn't really want to solve any problem, rather to be without identifying the problem that is going to solve, because people pay to solve their problems. There has to be something that is called the job to be done. So what is the job to be done? People, let me give you this scenario. Let me give you an example. Currently, you are renting the services of YouTube to get access to information. It's not like you truly love YouTube, but you rent YouTube services to get access to information from videos that people are making. You go to a restaurant, you rent out their services because you are hungry. You have a problem, you're hungry, you want to eat food, so you rent their services to fulfill your problem. They give you the food, which is their product, and they also give you other services and amenities that they give you in that particular restaurant to fulfill your need. So the problem-centric approach when you're working with apps is quite important. You wouldn't really want to just go out there and maybe build an app that people may not even get to use. You want to center it to a particular problem. If people are struggling, let's say when they are transiting from their homes to the workplace and they are bored, you can be able to build an app that truly them on their journey, and they can be able to be engaged throughout the journey, or even interact with other people throughout their journeys. If you are building an app that is going to solve the high food prices, you can be able to create an app that lets people get access to affordable food, affordable quality that they can get maybe in the shortest span. Maybe they can get access to this food in only 10 minutes from the time they get to pay for the food. So these are things that you can think of, but you think about the problems as opportunities that you can jump onto and be able to solve them. And in that kind of approach, that is how I think about each and every app that I work on, each and every problem that I attempt to solve. I don't start from having an idea, but I start from the problem and I say, how am I going to solve this problem? If I'm going to solve this problem, there are people who are solving this problem already. If there are people who are solving the problem already, how are they solving it? What are the users saying about that particular problem? What are the users saying about that particular problem? How would the users want this problem to be solved for them? It makes sense if you have an approach which is quite problem-centric, and it is going to allow you understand that yes, when I put out an app, or when I launch a web app that is solving this particular problem, or when I automate a particular software that is going to solve this particular problem, it is targeting people facing this problem, people who are facing this problem in this area. It makes sense because now you know that you're building this problem, rather you're building this app to solve a problem for a particular kind of a particular group of people, and that is the approach that I would advise. I don't know what you think about it, but if you have any, go in the comment section and let me know what do you think about the problem-centric approach, and how would you as a person approach it? Because for me, I would approach it from first of all identifying the problem, validating the problem itself, and also that the problem is solved in a much more better way. So now this is good. I love the path, because the path is animated. I love the animation, but when it comes to other elements, the path is not centered in it is not centered in the. That means also when it comes to the texts, they are showing strings, which is not good. So we are going to fix that. So thank you for the initial refinement. Now, when it comes to the path, it is very method. I love it. So what you're going to do, you're going to ensure that the path is within, it is enclosed within the card. Currently it's protruding outside, so either I believe that you can maybe slightly increase on the height of the card that houses this path and ensure that it's enclosed within. Also ensure that the title for this particular card is not obstructed by the blur effect that is set up on this particular card. The texts that are in this screen, they are showing strings. They are showing strings instead of showing the real text that we are supposed to see. So ensure that you fix that on this screen it is showing the real text in this language. When it comes to, I'm going to re-reference the theme and the front-end skills and the skills document, so that you look at those and ensure that when it comes to the colors that we here and also for the fonts and all other elements, they are quite related to the elements that we've used across our apps that are defined in the rules of these documents. And with that, you're going to make further modifications for these elements on this. So let's reference these. And also reference the themes documents. I'm referencing these documents because they're quite important. These documents, they help the coding agent to understand that these are the standards of in terms of the fonts that we are supposed to have, in terms of how the elements should be colored in light and dark mode, in terms of the sizes of the fonts. So there are different kinds of elements that we are comes to our front end view and how the elements are set up. So they are supposed to be maintained across the apps. If you don't have that means every time that you're prompting, you're going to struggle with having consistency in terms of the fonts, in terms of the sizes of the buttons, in terms of the colors of your fonts, in terms of the cards. It becomes quite hectic. So that is why I've referenced these elements to help us with that particular issue. So let's make further refinements. As we are making further refinements, I'm going to again call upon the people who have not yet subscribed to subscribe to the stream and get to like the video, comment on it. If there is anything that you would love to inquire, please do. Do not hesitate. Do not hesitate to inquire. And I believe as we go on to make changes in our processes, it's going good and great on how we get to vibe code. And also when you subscribe, I believe that the experience that you're going through is going to keep on improving on each and every stream. That one I can assure you, and I'm going to try as much as everything that I do to explain it extensively. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know. Do not hesitate to let me know, because what I would love to know is what do you think about this experience? How do you vibe? What do you think are the best approaches of how you can go about it? It's very important, because when you share with the community, it's also a point of reflection for us as a community, and also for each and everyone who is watching these streams to learn from you and how you go about your processes. The people who have subscribed, the community is growing from each and every stream. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for being part of this community, and I believe we are going to continue to grow and strive effectively well. So now an implementation plan for making the refinements. Let's proceed and make them.
Solo quedan la percusión, el cencerro y voces, pero potentes, más alto que el sol. Ya no me detendré. Aquí somos libres.
So let's look at what has been refined. So this is what we are receiving in terms of where the element should be, which is okay, but let's refresh this and let's reattach this image, make further modifications. So thank you for that modifications. Rather, what we are going to do, we are going to ensure that the elements are aligned very well on this screen. Currently, when I'm in light mode, I'm not able to view the border of the card that houses the border of the card, the animated location route. So we are supposed to ensure that we turn the border radius of that card to black for me to be able to view it. Actually, when it comes on this screen for the border radius and for purposes of ensuring that we can be able to view these cards very well and distinguish them, you should turn the border radius color of all the cards that we have here to black. Also, I want you to ensure that when it comes to the text, which is a path, the title text path with the name of that particular item, ensure that you align it in the center of the screen, the right to the left. Also, the text live tracking, align it in the center from the right to the left. And for the direction card, which is below, which is above the start movement button, ensure that you push it a bit below to be placed right above the start movement button. And for the route card, which houses the navigation route, ensure that it's also aligned in the center and it is visible very well, fully, without any obstruction. That means the direction card that is below should not interfere with the route card, which is housing the animated navigation route, and all other elements on the screen should be visible and placed very well without interfering with each other. So let's make further modification.
Visión clara, lo que tanto buscamos.
So let's also add this for the attached image. Ensure that our path is designed with width and style similar to the path that you are viewing in the reference image. Let's first of all bring this. So now, based on the previous implementation plan and how it is refreshed into various documents, ensure that you create a fresh implementation plan for this refinement. Also referencing to all the document, from the skills to front-end skills to the themes, and also the peak end user experience framework is also referenced as you are creating a fresh implementation plan for these refinements. Provide it to me, I'm going to review it, and we can continue to make the changes.
Gray slabs trap the heat. Boots crunch on broken glass bits. Keep the mind sharp.
So let's continue.
Scavengers hunt where the metal pipes rust. Industry vultures circle the block. I maintain a stance, feet planted
And see how we can make these refinements. If you've just joined and you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Do not hesitate to subscribe, because when you subscribe, I believe it's a chance for us to grow the community, but most importantly, it's a chance for you to get access to these streams that we make on a daily basis to showcase how you can vibe code any idea. And I believe the process, as we go on towards our target, where we're going to hit $500,000 in revenue from these apps, you would have learned a lot. So please don't hesitate to subscribe so that you get notifications of our new videos, and also keep us accountable on this amazing journey that we are on. So now we have the implementation plan.
analyze the pattern of the street fight. Black ink bleeding on the page tonight. No soft edges, only jagged lines. Build in a temple in
So let's proceed and make these changes very
immune to the game. Crushing the weak flows with a heavy palm. Eye of the storm, I remain a calm. Esoteric thoughts in a crude space. Look at the grit on the city's face. Ancestors watching through the grind. Watch. I manifestors watching through grind. I manifest the truth one bar at a time. Dismantle the lies with a surgical strike. This is the life that the warriors like. The mind's the weapon. Pay thicket, stay alert. Gray slabs, mental work. Keep the focus.
So now let's work on that. We are making a few refinements. Currently, the cards are interfering with each other, but also we are ensuring that these cards are visible by changing the radius color, and also ensuring that they are aligned very well without any item interfering with the other, which is quite good. Please, I'm going to keep this reminder going. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe. That is the freest thing that you can be able to do for me on this particular. of anticipating to hit $500,000 in revenue from these apps that I'm working on. If you want to see this journey unfold, but if you want to see me continue disseminate and showcase what I can do effectively, the only thing that is quite simple that you can do, it is like this video, but also continue to come and keep me accountable on this particular journey. Ask any questions that you have, comment anything, guide on anything in the chat section, and I believe as we continue to progress and make the community more better and these processes even much more better, it's going to be worthwhile. So let's continue. So this is the change that we have. It's quite good and much more better than what we had. Let's continue to make more refinements, and with this, currently when it comes to the direction card, which is showing which has the direction arrow, I see what I'm seeing is that it's attached again to the path card. So what I wanted the path quite different. It needs to be different from the direction card. So the path, the direction card that has the number of meters where, or the distance from which from where you to where the item is should be left where it is. But for the direction card, what we should do, which is having the animated route, we should ensure that we decrease on its height so that it starts right from where direction card ends. So that is the refinement that we can do to fix this. So please work on that. So this is the sample. We had for this particular screen, we are trying to refine that to ensure that it is set out very well. Now let's fix that and continue. So meanwhile, as you're working on that, you can wait to have the implementation plan that you're going to execute. It's taking out some time. Let's rerun it. Let's use Flash. And see how it's going to turn out. So now we have a new implementation plan where we're going to separate this. Let's continue. So let's fix this. And proceed the necessary changes. So now what we've done, this screen allows people to understand if they stored their item, let's say they are standing somewhere, a place that is near to where they stored their item, it makes the process quite easy for them to understand where they stored that particular item. So now I believe we are getting a challenge. But we need to fix this. Let me go here on Excalidraw. I think I need to make an illustration for this because the agent is not fully comprehending it. Let's go on Excalidraw. So this is a site that allows you to create, which is quite important sometimes when you are not able to. When the agent repeatedly is not understanding what you're working on. So let's fix this. So what I want to make a demonstration of how I want these elements to be aligned, and save this and give it to the agent to make the necessary refinement. So this is the start movement button.
Reject the fake, the shiny, the new. Analyze the pattern of the street fight. Black ink bleeding on the page tonight. Black ink bleeding on the page tonight. No soft edges, only jagged lines. Building a temple in the ruins of time.
So this is the direction card.
Solid, immune to the game, crushing the weak flows with a heavy palm. Eye of the storm, I remain calm. Esoteric grit on the city's face. Look answers grit.
Direction text
Ancestors watching the grind.
card.
Manifest the truth one bar at a time. Dismantle the lies with a surgical strike. This is the life that the warriors like. Warriors.
So this is the root card. The animated
Maintain the science.
root card. Then this is the tracked item. I think we need to change this stroke to black. Let us copy this and go back.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people that shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head. Oh.
So let's go here
Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my
and place it there. Then we make the request. Let me continue. But before I continue, if you've not yet subscribed, subscribe and join our daily streams where I get to showcase how you can be able to vibe code apps effectively. Well, thank you for the subscriptions and thank you for liking this video. If you've not yet liked it, please like it so that it can even go out to many other people for them to watching these videos, for us to learn as a community, for us to grow together, and most importantly to assist me on my journey to be able to hit $500,000 from revenue that you're going to receive from these vibe coded apps that you're working on. So if you want to be a part of the journey, if you want to learn in any way, feel like you should support this journey, please subscribe, and thank you for that. Let's continue here. So now I'm sharing image for how these cards and the button, which is the start movement button, should be aligned. For the button, it is placed very well where it is supposed to be. I'm not going to refine anything. But for on this screen, look at the reference image and how they are placed. I believe these cards are separated from each other. Try to ensure that our setup is following what you see in terms of reference on the reference image that I've shared. So that means you are going to recreate a detailed implementation plan based on how you are going to understand the reference image, and from there we shall make refinements to ensure that our elements fit in very well with the first card that is above, which is the item card, and also for the animated root card, which is after the item card, and also for the direction text card, which is below, which are all separated from each other. Currently the direction root card is embedded within the animated root card, which is not supposed to be the case. Try to ensure that they are separated and set this out very well. Let's create that implementation plan. I'm going to look into it and so that we can fix this very well.
Forget waiting, I come by. I forget, oh baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, oh, but
so let's continue.
my lady. Only you, make we bargain, make
seller say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just dey look your wall. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace, no be small thing I carry for pocket.
Work on this. So what I did, I went to this tool which is called Excalidraw, and I was because this is what I wanted in terms of this the layout of these elements. Look at these elements; they are not set out very well on the screen. So this is what I wanted. This is a better layout. Yes, I never wanted to change the colors and anything. When it comes to the button should be set out like that with its icon, which is quite perfect. But this alignment, for me, I felt like it is something that we can to refine with the direction detached from this animated root card, which would even look more good in terms of the UI and the appearance of these elements. So let's fix that and see how it's going to evolve. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and so let's first of all accept this and look at the implementation plan. So let's proceed and make this change and see how it's going to unfold. I'm going to call upon anyone, if you've not yet subscribed, or if you I want you to look at your subscription button and please subscribe. It's one of the freest things that you can do for us on this channel. I'm on the road to hit $500,000 from Vibe, from revenue that I'm receiving from Vibe coded apps that I'm automating for other businesses, but as well for these mobile apps that I'm going to launch on the store and be able to use us. So if you feel like this is a community that you want to be a part of, where you get to see me work on these elements in real time, and also be a part of the community to guide me and make the process worthwhile, please join me on this particular journey. So I can be able to view this, but what we are seeing is that which is not something that I would love to have. So we are going to fix that. I wouldn't really want to scroll. So it is done, but let's fix something else. Okay. Currently, the elements have been set up very well with the alignment of the cards done very well, but we need to fix something. When it comes to these elements, they all need to be visible without scrolling. That means that we have to ensure that the elements fit on the screen and they are all visible without scrolling below to view other elements. Currently, we have to scroll below to view all the elements, but we need to ensure that all the elements fit in the screen so that we can view them without scrolling. Let's fix that in all these elements very well. And they are viewable without scrolling. Let's my foundation is a sovereign state of mind, leaving every bitter winner far behind. Someone is asking what I'm building. I'm working on a location, on an item, location-based apps. It is simple. Someone gets to store an item and then they record that particular location where they stored that item, and they can be able to remember where they placed each and every item at their homes, at their workplaces, maybe in their cars, in their storage rooms where they get to store items. People store different kinds of items for different reasons. At work, maybe in their computers where they store these items. Sometimes they even store them in folders that they forget. So it's easy with this tool, the location of where you stored your item, and be able to recall that very well. So now we have the implementation plan. As we proceed here, I'm going to go back here and show you some of the elements that we've already worked on. So let's making the refinement, and let me go back here. So let's say you have different places where you get to store your items. Maybe you have a personal safe, maybe you have you store items at home, maybe you store some items at your office, in your car, a certain storage unit, maybe a storage room. You can be able to store various items. Let's say you go in this folder, the home folder, and you've stored various items. Currently, we've not yet integrated our backend. We are still using mock data. It's illustratively going to show you how it works. Let's say you've stored your passport somewhere, and when you click on this passport, you get to see a location path. This is our location path, and the location path is the different areas, the path where you stored it. Maybe for at home, you stored it in your bedroom, and in the bedroom you stored it in your closet, and in the closet you stored it in your top shelf, and in the top shelf you stored it in the black box, and in the black box maybe you stored it in the blue folder. Then this is the item itself, which makes the process quite easy for you to identify whatever item that you've stored. So that is how it works. Or maybe if you want to get access and offline access to this particular item that you've stored, you can print of this. You can be able to print this and keep it. And when you keep it, you can get access to this whenever you want, or maybe you can send it to someone who is in that particular location and they want to get access to that particular item, which makes the process quite easy. Also, to include a lock feature where you are supposed to where you can lock this path for a particular item, and that makes the storing of the items secure and good for each, and they can be able to lock different folders where they have their items for privacy and security, making the process quite easy to be able to get access to those items and retrieve them from wherever they are. So you get to store that when you're storing, you get to record that when you're storing the item, and then even if you take 3 months without going to that particular place, you can be able to recall where you stored your item and where it was placed. Let me hope I've answered the question very well. So let's go back. So here we have our items. They are all set up very well, and that is good. So this screen, its aim is to fully demonstrate where like the path to that particular product. If let's say you've stored your wallet somewhere, just like how it is, and this is the item that you are tracking in the wallet screen, it becomes quite easy for the users to understand that the distance in between where I'm standing and where the item is stored is in these kinds of meters, and then it's going to also show you the direction of where that item is. Because at first, when you're storing the item, you record the location of that, and it is stored, so it becomes quite easy to retrieve that and show you the path to that particular item and how many meters are remaining. So as you start to move, it takes you the direction itself, which is quite good. But I believe we can improve on the visibility of this animated path, because currently it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And improve on that. Let me reshare this particular screen and ensure that we only work on that. Now that all the elements are set out very well, what we are going to do, we are going to slightly increase on the height of the animated path. So that means when we increase on this height, it's going to push the cards that are below it a bit below, but they should all still be visible on this screen. Also, when we increase on its height, it's going to push the text that are above it and the item card that is above it a bit. Still, all these elements need to be visible. When it comes to the visibility of the path, we are going to change the color of the path, given that we have a light mode and a dark mode. For light mode, the color of the path should be visible, white in color, and it should be visible for us to be able to view it very well. But also in the light mode, we are not going to use the blue. We are going to ensure that we use black color to ensure that it's quite laid out. So that means for the background color of the path width is going to be black, but for the path it's going to be maintained to white even when we are in light mode. I'm sharing an image, and I want you to look at the image, and I want you to look at the arrow directions that we have in in this route that we have on the reference screen, and I want you to emulate that kind of directional setup in that route, which is quite for the animated dotted route. You're going to maintain it, but I want you to look at how those arrows are set up and see how if you can include them to show to keep on showing this direction on this animated path. So you're going to create a fresh We're going to create a fresh animated setup based on the instructions that I've given you above. And when it comes to animating this, I'm going to share the peak end framework, and I want you to look at it extensively and what it measures in terms of the micro interactions that we are supposed to have on this screen. And I want you to suggest the animations that we are supposed to have to add on what we already have, and also suggest the micro interactions that are supposed to happen when we are on this screen, but also when we are moving off this particular screen. You are going to include them in an implementation plan, and you are going to use the prompt structure that is in the master prompt document that I'm sharing, provided that I can review what you're going to change in terms of all the instructions, but also in terms of the animations as far as the peak end document that I've put below is concerned. I will approve the plan, and then we go on to make these refinements. So let's reference the big end document, then we go. So let's continue. And work on this and see how it is going to be set up very well.
Para entrar al juego, cada tropiezo fue una lección de fuerza. Caminando sobre el vidrio roto del barrio, sin monedas pero con el hambre intacta. Miraba hacia arriba, buscando el sol, mientras mis botas lanzada como cimiento. Construyendo mi imperio sobre suelo inestable. La calle no perdona al que duda aquí.
Let's continue to work on the plan. If you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe. Support.
En la esquina oscura, no dependo de la suerte ni el azar. Esto es matemática pura y sudor frío. Cada puerta cerrada fue un impulso nuevo, un motor rugiendo en mi se miden golpes aguantados. Soy el arquitecto de mi propio destino, transformando el veneno en medicina amarga. Subiendo la escalera hecha de cicatrices, del suelo al cielo sin mirar atrás. Haciendo que el dolor trabaje para mí.
Let's proceed and make the changes as required.
Mírame ahora, firme en la cumbre. El aire es fino, pero respiro victoria. No olvide el sabor de la escasez. Eso es lo que mantiene mi fuego vivo. Respeto ganado con sangre y rimas, sin vender el alma al mejor postor. Soy el ejemplo de la voluntad inmensa, el que convirtió el muro en puente, pisando fuerte sobre la envidia ajena. Mi nombre retumba en los callejones viejos. Hice la caída un salto eterno, y del fracaso mi mayor trofeo. El ritmo se filtra y queda solo el bajo. Resiliencia pura, desde el barro hasta el trono. Cicatrices.
Let's continue and
Final abrupto.
ensure that this refinement is properly set up and orchestrated well.
Step in the place, energy high. All the levels don't change. No more looking back at ground.
So let's
We only look at the sky.
go back here
Burn like a flame, stay bright.
and rerun this.
Everything clear, we see light. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, we don't arrive. Long drum, make we come alive. Whoa, long drum, we come alive. Alive. Money talk, we know they speak. We find a fire, we see. Magnet pull, we move fast. Make this feeling always last. Always last. Burn like a flame, stay bright. Everything clear, we see light. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, we don't arrive. Long drum, make we come alive. Whoa, long drum, we come alive. Alive.
So let's continue to make the changes.
King of the night on the throne. Higher, higher, we dey grow. Higher.
Ensure that everything is set up quite well as planned.
Chop life, we don't arrive. Long drum, make we come alive. Whoa, long drum, we come alive. Alive. Chop life, we don't arrive. Alive. Everything's soft. And I follow my own leg. No be passing, lead me go. Like water for the mountain. See as I dey flow.
Let's wait for the changes and see how they are going to be effected.
Turn for my side.
So I love the animation set out very well.
But my spirit ever strong.
But we need to ensure that
Now I know where I belong. The fire started to burn deep inside.
that everything is
The tables start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now.
quite visible.
Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. My race I don't win now. Yeah. I find my way. Sweet life every day. No more walking for the dark. We just fly. Everything's soft now.
So now it's complete, but we have some errors. Let's send them to the agent. Let's work on this. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe as we continue to work on our item location app. Now let's continue with making refinements to this arrows were set very well, but these arrows are not set up very well. They should be set up within the path. Currently, some of these arrows are leaning outside and they are not within the path. They should follow the direction of the path that is set out from the initial point where the user could be to the exact point where they have stored their items. So we need to ensure that they are housed within that path. Also, in terms of animation itself, we could design it that these arrows follow a loop. It's like they are going up, moving from the initial direction where the user is to the location where the item is, and it could be a loop. As they are moving, they are coming back and revolving to direction to re-emphasize the direction of where the item is.
Subiendo la escalera hecha de cicatrices, del suelo al cielo, sin mirar atrás, haciendo que el dolor trabaje para mí. Hoy domino lo que ayer me golpeaba. Mi disciplina es un arma cargada, entrenando el que no llega armada. Nos abuela dirá no dependo de la suerte ni el azar. Esto es matemática pura y sudor frío. Hoy domino lo que ayer me podolpeaba. Motor rugiendo en mi pecho vacío. Me dijeron que no llegaría lejos. Ahora ven mi sombra cubriendo su bloque. Ahora ven mi sombra.
Let's retry this.
No uso joyas para brillar en la sombra. Mi aire es fino pero respiro victoria. No olvide el sabor de la escasez. Eso es lo que mantiene mi fuego vivo. Respeto ganado con sangre y rimas. Sin vender el alma al mejor postor. Soy el ejemplo de la voluntad inmensa. El que convive.
And see how it's going to unfold.
Pisando fuerte sobre la envidia ajena. Mi nombre retumba en los callejones viejos. Hice de la caída un salto eterno. Y del fracaso mi mayor trofeo. Resiliencia profeo. Recelo con encia un feo. Resiliencia pura.
What you're trying to refine, we are trying to ensure that these direction arrows, whether the chevron arrows, are positioned within this. Ensure that this direction animation works in a loop. They need to be flowing to this side, and they need to be to continuously flow to show the direction of where you are supposed to go, which is a better practice. And we all these I'm doing this to increase the experience of the user. Demonstrate is that you may not have a lot of features, but if you calibrate them very well in terms of giving value to the user, but as you give them value to be able to identify whatever they are, to be able to use your app for whatever they are using it for, then throughout that experience they also like they are equally valued, and they are using a top feature, which is quite good. So such an element, because we had the other one earlier, but to me this one is even much more. This one is much more better, because now there someone can know that from this point, that is where I am, that is where I'm standing, this is the point, and I'm supposed to go here. This is where the item is. So as they are moving, we are going to create another screen, animate the movement of this, and I will be moving and trying to demonstrate that effectively. Well, meanwhile, as we are working on this, I need to go here, check out something, because I believe we can refine this. This is one of the things that you are going to do when you're working on such screens, where screens that need and detail. Sometimes you need to get references from other areas, and I normally get references from Pinterest, which is quite good in terms of offering quite the right references in terms of how I should set out what I'm looking for. Currently, this is the dark kind of color that we have, but I want something quite simple, something that is going to be illustrated, solid. And with that, I'm seeing, because this is what we have, and when you look at something like this, where you get to follow this direction, then it's good. We need first of all to change the colors of for them to be visible, for the start point to be visible and the end point to be visible, because they are not visible before we change actually anything. For this, let me save it, and let's go back. And make a few refinements. let's decrease this. That's good. Yes, I can be able to view the direction, but the start point of this route and the end point of these routes
Check the frequency.
quite visible. So let me refine that.
One, two, one, two. Planet firm
So now when it comes to the start point,
my posture is a geometry of
point
internal climate shifting like a heavy-handed
of this route, they need to be quite visible.
manifest the mercy when the sky gets murky. Gravity is a strategy to test my
They need to be visible, and in terms of that, we need to ensure that the item location
the mathematics of the sap rising
icon,
drowning out the
which is currently in blue color,
my foundation
for the dark mode, we need to refine it and ensure that it's quite visible.
climb through the grime to the light. Every
So we did
inch is a prayer
change it to take on the yellow color for it to be visible both in light and the dark mode. And then for the point,
circle of survival. Each fallen leaf marks a brand new arrival.
we can
The eagle like the bark on the birch. Finding the truth without a steeple or
also ensure that we identify it
roots are a fact. Keeping my integrity, my soul in
by adding a text besides it to demonstrate that this is where the user is, and also at the end point
shortcuts to the summit of the canopy. The sky is the only thing that can handle me. A centipede past the
we need to ensure that that direction icon is quite
holy sound.
visible and stands out
It's the climb through the grind.
to show the user that this is where they are, and the other end point, that is where the item is.
For the height, weathering the seas until the fruit is ripe. Manifest the essence in the middle of the fight. Just keep growing. Don't mind the storm. It's just water. It's just wind. The essence is eternal. Peace. Peace. Manifest. One.
Let's fix that. Looking at references in terms of the direction. So what we want, because after we finish defining this particular screen, we need to have given that we are going to use augmented reality to identify the direction for these particular items. To have an arrow that is quite visible and effectively set up to showcase that direction very well. So let's go here. Go back. So let's continue and what I'm looking for is something simple to effectively set out the direction for this particular element, which is going to stand out. I think these arrows are quite good. I love this kind of illustration because they are bright in white color, but also with a visible. So I think we shall use those for the next screen. Let's continue. So this is our screen. Basically, for this screen, we wanted to make a few refinements. The start point is not quite visible, and the end point we've on quite a few things in it, and it's animated. It's showing this animated path, which is also good, but we wanted to be able to view these endpoints because currently we cannot view them very well, so we need to fix that and work on it. I'm going to ask the people who have not yet subscribed, if they are here, please humbly subscribe to the stream as we continue to work on this location app, which you are working on with the help of React Native and Expo. Plus other elements.
The ledger, the price of peace. Custom armor hidden under the ostrich skin coat.
So the elements have been set out very well, but
mental state like a cracked marble floor, walking over glass and $6,000 loafers. Watch your step. Grenades hidden in the gifted bags from Paris. Artillery strikes hitting the penthouse balcony. Survival is the only brand I truly wear. Stains on the silk.
I think we need to wait for the refinements that are done, mostly for the language, and then we can be able to preview everything else.
Resting on a silk pillowcase, war scars looking like expensive designer labels. Still winning. Managing the chaos like a corporate board meeting. The trauma is just a tax on the crown. Victory takes.
So let's wait for the agent to do that, and then we can continue to make further refinements.
Body count is high in the mental ledger. Check the math. Check the math.
Great. Let's make more modifications. Now the path is set up very well. What you are going to slightly decrease on the width of the card of the direction route that houses this animated roots, rather animated elements. So that means the animated direction root is going to be maintained, but the width of that root is going to be slightly decreased. Also, you need to ensure that the texts at the end point are quite visible, and also at the start point, and they should not be hidden under the root. So that is the little bit of refinement that you're going to make on that screen and fix them. The size of the roots. So the other thing that you're going to do for the cards, let me reference one of the screens that we have in this app, which is the space. Now, when it comes to the cards that you're working with, given that we want a uniformity in terms of the appearance of the cards, I want cards that we have on the space screen and ensure that our cards have the same kinds of properties. All the cards that we have on this screen, that they are elevated well, that they have the shadow effect that is similar to what is on the other screen, and also radius, as it appears exactly like the border radius that we have, and colored the same way like we have on the spaces screen. Create a fresh implementation plan for this. I'm going to look into it, and we are going to make further refinements on this particular feature. So let's first of all accept these changes that we made earlier. So very important, and then let's proceed to make these changes. For the people who have not yet liked this video, if you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to call upon you to please do that and support me on this journey. I'm building an item location to store the items, but also be able to recall where they stored these items effectively well. And we are also working on various apps that I'm going to launch on the iOS store, and we've also worked on some web apps that we've automated for some businesses. We received the initial payment of over $2,000. So if you want to be a part of the journey, please subscribe, and if you have any questions, ask the questions, and continue to support the journey as I proceed.
Mantén esa energía justo ahí. Solo tú y el cielo. Vamos.
So let's continue. As we are continuing, let me go back here. I want first of all to look at this in dark mode.
Está frío, pero quemamos por dentro. Seda fina bebiendo de tu copa. Me gusta cómo me miras al bailar.
Wait for the refinements to be made.
No hace falta hablar, que el bajo se exprese, buscando la vibra que el mundo desea. Tus manos bajan, me acerco a tu estamos bien. Olvida el resto, miran desde afuera. Mi piel es sal, tu aliento en mi cuello, dándote más de lo que esperabas. Lo que esperaba. Más alto que la luna, girando en el lugar. No me sueltes más, aquí somos libres, tan libres.
So one of the things that was not worked on is this, which is the narrowing of the roots.
Corriente al tocar
This,
bajo las
the other elements were refined.
demasiado en nuestros pies fluyendo suave, subiendo
Also,
calor. Siente la corriente al tocarnos tú y yo. Bajo las estrellas nunca es demasiado. El pulso urbano yendo suave, subiendo el calor. Bajo el cielo suave, sí, la corriente.
so let's reprompt, make this now for this element of now narrowing the roots, you listed it but you did not make modifications for it. Also the fonts for the texts within the animated at the start point and the end point, they are not visible, and also these texts are covered a bit by the root, so that means you need to increase of the font size of these texts, and also ensure that they are placed near this root but they are not covered by this root. So these are the are going to add on what you've already made for the previous implementation plan. So please make a solid implementation plan for these further refinements and ensure that you effect them and set them up very well.
Them say I no go make am, but my spirit ever strong. I carry my own load.
So let's continue to
Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep inside. The tables start to turn for my side. Almost see
let me continue to make further modifications. This screen is over, but some elements were not visible, so I'm trying to make modifications to it to see that they are visible, and then we can proceed to the next screen, that is effect, and set up this particular element quite well.
sweet life every day. No more walking for the dark. We just fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's set. Everything's set. Everything's set.
Let's go back. when it comes to narrowing the root card, and with this I mean the root itself has a card which is of has a background color of black. This is the exact root that we are supposed to narrow down on its width. Currently it's quite huge. We need to decrease on the size of its width. That means for the root it is, but for the width we need to decrease down on it. So please make a conclusive implementation plan for this particular navigation route path card, and ensure that we can be able to decrease on it.
Baby, tell me your last price.
Let's continue and work on that. As we continue, if you've not yet liked the video, if you've just joined, please subscribe to this channel and follow this journey. Keep me accountable on the journey also. I believe it's going to be an enriching process. As we continue to work on this app and many apps that are going to allow us understand how we can effectively well. So do not hesitate to subscribe, please. Thank you for the people who have already subscribed. It's an amazing journey and we are growing so fast.
Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just dey look your wall. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace. No be small thing I carry for pocket. Wait. I know be debt, I'll be walker. I pay the price for your love, I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price.
I think what we are going to do here, going to copy this message and try to log in with a new
Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song. Last price.
Let's sign out and we're going to log in and ensure we continue.
I follow my own leg. No be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain. See as I dey flow. Start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We dey chop life every day. My race I don't win now. Yeah. Them say I no go make am, but my spirit ever strong. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start
to bond deep inside. The tables start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. Inside the wing now. Yeah. I find my way. Sweet life every day. No more walking for the dark. We just they fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's said. Everything's said.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people they shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Sun hot for Balogun today. Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see you for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You don't even look my side. You just the price they dry fish. I stand there like person we lost. I forget waiting I come by. I forget to. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people they shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just they look your walk. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace. No be smarting, I carry for pocket. Wait, wait, wait. I know be debt, I be walker. I pay the price for your love. I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people they shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head. Price no be the issue. Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song. Last price, last price. Yeah.
Sí, mantén esa energía justo ahí. La cima nos espera. Vamos. Vamos. Siente el impulso de llegar al final. Bajo las nubes, el éxito es real. El fuego interno arde en nuestro ser. Subiendo fuerte, nada que temer. Siente el impulso de llegar al final. Bajo las nubes, el éxito es real. El fuego interno arde en nuestro ser. Subiendo fuerte, nada que temer. El camino fue duro, pero aquí estamos. Visión clara, lo que tanto buscamos. Me gusta cómo vibra esta realidad. Mirando al frente con seguridad. Buscando la gloria que el mundo envidie. Mis pasos firmes, toco la grandeza. Esta es la meta que tengo en la cabeza. Dueños del triunfo, dueños del empeño, se ve tan claro bajo el cielo azul. Todo es victoria con fuerza y virtud. Hoy mi aliento es victoria, dando el máximo, entrando en la historia. Nuestra la historia, más alto que el sol, ganando el lugar, no me detendré. Aquí somos libres, tan libres, no me detengas. Siente el impulso de llegar al final. Bajo las nubes, el éxito es real. El fuego interno arde en nuestro ser. Subiendo fuerte, nada que temer. Siente el impulso de llegar al final. Bajo las nubes, el éxito es real. El fuego interno arde en nuestro ser. Subiendo fuerte, nada que temer. Así mismo.
Price of peace. Custom armor hidden under the ostrich skin coat. Front lines in the lobby of the Plaza Hotel. Mental state like a cracked marble floor. Walking over glass in $6,000 loafers. Watch your step. Grenades hidden in the gifted bags from Paris. Artillery strikes hitting the penthouse balcony. Survival is the only brand I truly wear. Stains on the silk that never come out. Clean it up. A massacre happened in the master suite. I just bought it. Resting on a silk pillowcase. War scars looking like expensive. Still with it. Managing the chaos like a corporate board meeting. The trauma is just a tax on the crown. Victory tastes like cold iron and vintage wine. The cost of the throne. Sipping aged scotch. to drown the sirens. Body count is high in the mental ledger. Check the math. Cook the bitterness in a copper pot. Served it cold to the ghosts in the cellar every nightmare. Bought a new acre of land. Iron in the blood, but platinum on the neck. Heavyweight. A general of a ghost battalion in suits. The interior's red like the battlefield. 12-cylinder engine screaming louder than the voices. I trade my peace for a higher profit margin. Heavy head resting on a silk pillowcase. War scars looking like expensive designer labels. Still winning. Managing the chaos like a corporate board meeting. The trauma is just a tax on the crown. Victory tastes like cold iron and vintage wine. The cost of the throne. Rebranding the panic into a global empire. Stitch the open wounds with pure gold thread. Medals on the chest of a haunted man. Salute the survivor. The war is quiet, but the rent is high. Built a fortress out of broken glass. No surrender in the middle of the luxury. Never fold. I own the demons that used to own me. Now they work the door at the party. The war never ends, it just gets more expensive. Sign the check. Good.
Yeah, it's all love. I found that old photograph in a shoebox. The edge is afraid and the color is faded, but I see beat. But I see the way you were looking at me. We were just kids trying to build a kingdom on a foundation of nothing but laughter and hope. It wasn't perfect, but it was our truth. It wasn't perfect, but it was our truth. And I wouldn't trade a single heavy day for a lifetime of easy grace. I still feel the way you held me, like a soft fire against the winter skies. We had to let it go to find our soul. Now I see beauty in the things we knew. Just the simple magic of loving you. You taught me how to take a breath when the world felt like it was closing in. We walked through the seasons hand in hand, learning that growth is a quiet kind of pain. I look the woman I've become to become up. I see your influence in sway stand. There's no bitterness, this distance, this don't leave. Only the warmth, a story well told. I still feel the way you held me, like a soft fire against the winter skies. We had to let it go to find our soul. Now I see beauty in the things we knew. Just the simple magic of loving you. These times are only that river flows.
Waiting this up, energy high. All the levels don't change. No be beans, we dey fly. We only look at the sky. Burn like fire, no be beans. Everything set, we dey win. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. Money talk, we know they cap. Shake way for hand, we dey tap. Best say we move fast. Make this feeling always last. Always last. Always last. Burn like fire, no be beans. Everything set, we dey win. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. No be play, we be stone. King of the street on the throne. We body, higher we go. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. Chop life, we don't arrive. Alive. Everything's soft. And
So now let's continue
Yeah. Keep that energy right there.
with our work.
Just
We
you.
are still working on our item application app.
Let's go. Feel the current when our bodies touch. Under the stars, it never is too much.
And we are going to run this request with open code and see how it's going to effectively work on this particular request. And we are concurrently running it with an IDE agent to view
Air is cool, but we are burning up. Expensive silk, I'm drinking from
how
the
it's
cup. Like the
going
way
to
you
be
whisper
executed.
when I'm
Currently,
locking your eyes, getting in the groove. No need to
our
talk,
app is very simple.
finding the top, just let
It's
the
an app that allows people to store various items. As you can see, these are the folders that we have in our app. Someone can be able to store any item in any place, to save the location of where they have stored this item, and be able to retrieve that with this simple location path of where they have stored the items. They can also be able to print out this card. This is the item card print out, so that even when they are offline, they can be able to remember where they stored any item at any place, which makes the process quite simple. So let's continue to make further refinements on our app. If you've not yet subscribed, please subscribe as on this.
My skin is salt, your breath is on my neck. Giving you more than you could ever expect. What you expect. What you expect. Higher than the moon. Spinning in the room. Don't let go of me.